Hey guys, many of us don't like hearing what we're doing wrong, but the perspective of an outside person can be really invaluable. So I want to read you something quickly, but before I do, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and hit that bell icon to be notified when I release a new video. So, do you remember when you last learned to ride a bicycle as a child? Unless you was the most physically able or luckiest kid ever, you probably didn't stay up the first time you tried to ride. And you fell down, you wrecked yourself several times, you scratched your knees, you scraped your elbows and maybe even cried a little. And at some point you might have even said, "I'll never learn to ride a bike." However, you saw other children riding their bikes and enjoying a sense of freedom and independence, and you wanted that also. So instead of accepting that you would never be able to ride a bike, you got back on it and you eventually learned how. You didn't even know it, but you was enjoying the positive rewards of a growth mindset. You didn't accept your current reality. And in your mind, you saw yourself riding with your friends and having an amazing time. You kept thinking about that reality so much that it led to you to taking action. And the actions you took were to go to your parents or your older siblings or your friends and have them help you learn how to ride that bicycle. And this often meant that you had to listen to criticism. If you kept falling off your bike, you couldn't ride in a straight line, it was because you were doing certain things wrong. And whoever taught you how to ride successfully pointed out these problems. And as a child who so desperately longed to experience the freedom and exhilaration of trying to ride a bicycle, you embraced that criticism. You used it to correct your physical actions, and then you took action and practiced over and over and over. Eventually, your desire, persistence, and the advice you received from your bike riding teacher, it all paid off. And it wasn't long before you were flying around your neighborhood on your bike, with all the other kids having a great time. And now you can ride your bicycle without even thinking about it. And now this might seem like a very simplistic example of a growth mindset, and that's because it is. But sometimes great knowledge can come from very simple things. As a child, you didn't know what great growth mindset was, and you didn't really care about things like that. That didn't matter. All you knew is that the most important thing that you wanted to do was to ride a bike and ride it with your friends and learn how to do it. So you did whatever it took to create that reality, and that meant you had to hear some criticism. You had to hear someone tell you what you're doing wrong, and you embrace that criticism, and you use that constructive criticism to become better at riding a bike. And so this is just as important for an adult as it was for you as a child, for children and bicycles. So if you're failing to reach some kind of level of success, then ask for help. Seek out those people who you trust, who you look up to, who's already done what you're trying to achieve, and get their input. Ask them, what are you doing, what you're doing wrong. And it's important to understand the difference between constructive criticism and someone who's trying to bring you down. Because criticism should never be hateful or vindictive, and it should only be objectively given and received. So find a few people whose opinion matter to you, whose opinion you can trust, whose opinion you look up to, and then ask them to critique your actions or even lack of action, and tell them specifically what your goal is and what you would quantify as success, and then embrace that criticism rather than be offended by it. So this works for you to learn new and wonderful things as a child, and it can also work for you as an adult. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. I'll see you in the next video.